You're watching Rules of the Game with Bill Krugh, brought to you by these fine sponsors. Albert Sporting Goods, American Legion Post 323, All Glaze Equipment Rental, Capabilities, David Wabacher Attorney, Eagles 767, FCA, Fowler's TV, Freedom Marketing Strategies, Grand Lake Roofing, Guarneri's Pizzeria, Jackalope Stash, Larry Schaff Auto Sales, Laura Yelton State Farm, MHS Alumni Foundation, Miller Funeral Homes, Minster Bank, Plus One Professional Real Estate, Ryder Rooters, Roots Pub, St. Mary's Foundry, Sean Barnett Electrical, Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center, Spring Street Storage, TSC, and Varsity Lanes.
Hello and welcome to Rules of the Game with Bill Krugh. I'm Zach Ferrall, and joining me each and every week is local official Bill Krugh to look at some of the clips from the Rough Rider game. Bill, thanks for coming back.
Thanks, Zach. Glad you're back from vacation.
Yes, thanks to Joe Hurlbert for filling in for me last week. Unfortunately, the Riders lost this week, and we've got a lot of clips, 19 clips. But before we got started on that, there's a big local controversy in the Tenora and Archbold game. Tenora kicked a game-winning field goal that was ruled no good, and there's been a lot of video going around on Facebook. Didn't know if you had a chance to take a look at that or talk about the procedure of the referees in that particular clip, or it's very difficult, I guess, to see for sure.
I got one look at it. I got one look at it, and it looked to me like the ball went over the crossbar. It looked to me like it was good, but other than that, the procedure that they did was proper, other than not looking at the ball go over the crossbar.
Yeah, it didn't look like they were necessarily watching it come through or not in the video, but it is also difficult, I know, just from video editing and things. There are artifacts, and when things are going that quick and the frame rate, sometimes things aren't what they appear, so yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and you can't, in high school, besides the state final playoff game, you can't use video evidence to reverse a call. So they didn't have that. They had to go by what they saw, and that's what they did.
Well, it reminded me of the Rough Riders' great win in 2003 against Salina. Nick Peffenberger kicked a 42-yard field goal, and the official in that game at that time raised his thumb like that, thumbs up, signaling to, I think, the umpire to make the good call. Or not, and we found out afterwards that was the proper way to do it at that point, but is that still the same way?
No, today is the two guys under the crossbar, they come out and they'll do the signaling on a kick like that. The referee he will not signal it. It's their job, they signal it, the press box has to get it from them, and everybody goes off their signal.
Hopefully that should end confusion like that in the future, and with Triplets leg this year, we may see some more long field goal attempts and things like that. So we'll see if that comes up. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, like I said, we got 19 clips that we're going to go through here, and we're going to discuss some of the interesting calls or no calls from the game on Friday night. We'll be back right after this.
You're watching Rules of the Game with Bill Krugh, brought to you by these fine sponsors. Albert Sporting Goods, American Legion Post 323, All Glaze Equipment Rental, Capabilities, David Wabacher Attorney, Eagles 767, FCA, Fowler's TV, Freedom Marketing Strategies, Grand Lake Roofing, Guarneri's Pizzeria, Jackalope Stash, Larry Schaff Auto Sales, Laura Yelton State Farm, MHS Alumni Foundation, Miller Funeral Homes, Minster Bank, Plus One Professional Real Estate, Ryder Rooters, Roots Pub, St. Mary's Foundry, Sean Barnett Electrical, Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center, Spring Street Storage, TSC, and varsity lanes.
Welcome back to Rules of the Game with Bill Krugh. I'm Zach Ferrall. Bill, let's jump right into some of the clips. We're going to start it off easy. This was a false start on Defiance. Pretty obvious one here, I think. I think the right tackle, just a little step there.
Right tackle and left guard, or both tackles it looked like maybe jumped.
Early in the game, maybe just
left guard.
Yeah, just a little bit of jitters.
Yep.
This next call was later in that drive, a deep pass. I think pretty good defense from Trey Moore, but wondered if you thought it was good or if there was any bad contact there.
It did. Just on watching that one play there, it looks like he's making a play on the ball without going through the receiver. So it looks like he made a good defensive play. Yeah, that's a nice defensive play by Trey Moore.
I thought so too, and he's got a lot of enthusiasm. It's good to see him out there getting reps and not to be beaten here from St. Mary's or not to be outdone. St. Mary's had their own false start problems. This was on I think St. Mary's first drive here. Looks like maybe the left tackle over there jumps as well.
He does. You can see him jump.
With St. Mary's having such a quick snap like that, do you notice as an official, does that ever make you more or less able to see the false starts if a team is really snapping it quickly? Or?
No, actually, it makes it a little harder. I mean, a team that comes out of the huddle like St. Mary's does, gets up to the line and snaps that thing, it makes it a little tougher for you to call that false start. And you have to be sure that they're jumping, because a lot of times, we'll talk to the coaches before the game and they'll say, hey, watch them. Their offensive line jumps quick. And so you're focusing on it. You're really focusing real hard on it. And if they're not moving before that ball snaps, even though the fans think it is, it's not a false start. So you got to be sure that you get it, that they're moving before that ball moves, and
that there is actually a false start.
And that's actually a false start.
Well, St. Mary's scored on that drive and had a nice surprise onside kick. There's a couple things to look at here on this onside kick. First off, I thought it was very well executed. I guess there's no problem with the kicker kicking it to himself. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. Nope. There's a couple things that has to happen. The ball has to touch the ground, and it did. And it has to go 10 yards, which it did. And then he can recover. And the other St. Mary's players can't come down and block the Defiance players away from the ball.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Unless the Defiance player initiates the contact.
Okay.
So
I didn't realize that, because I kind of wondered that. I thought, why are the St. Mary's players not, trying to hit the Defiance players out of the way more? So they're just really, they can kind of stand in the way, or maybe.
Yep. But they can't initiate the contact to push them away from the ball as it's getting there.
And that's a safety thing that is added in, or is it just a?
You know what? I'm not sure why that's in. It could be a safety thing, but it is one of the rules that they can't make contact before that 10 yards before that ball goes to 10 yards.
Oh, interesting. I know that there was another issue. The Defiance coaches thought that potentially the kick was a delay of game. So they thought that if you look at the bottom of your screen here, there's an official that's counting down the play clock. And you don't see delay of game too much on kickoffs, but it looks like he's counting from 5, 4, 3. He gets to 2, and then Triplets takes off on his kick. And, did you think that it could have been delay of game, or is that?
Well, just watching it there that one time, if you count as he's going, you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the ball is kicked. I think he was fine. And that's the back judge. The back judge hands the ball to the kicker, and his job is the 25-second clock.
Okay.
And he's on that sideline. He'll be on the home sideline, and he's the one that's doing the counting just like he's supposed to. So everything went right there. And if you count it down, I think it was a good kick. I think it got it off in time. Now I can't see the clock, but going by his signals, it looked to me like it was good.
Well, it's good to see that. Now later on this next drive, then after St. Mary's recovered that, a big, I think third down here, third and long, trying to get a first down. If we can go back to the right before the snap, you can see up here the camera will pan to the top, and you can see just the bottom of the first down marker is right on like the 38-yard line there at the top of the screen. So maybe just on the other side of the 38-yard line. Mabry catches the ball. It looks really close to that 38-yard line there. Goes down. It gets marked, and they call it a first down from there. We're really parsing out inches here, I know.
Yeah, it's kind of tough without that yellow line coming across like you see on Sundays.
Yeah.
But the official down here at the bottom of the screen, as he's coming in, he's got the best angle at it. I mean, he's looking straight across the field, and he's looking at where he's catching the ball and that marker over there. So it looks to me like he did his job. And
is the spot supposed to be where the ball is when he catches it like that, or where when his knee hits the ground?
When his knee hits the ground, because if he's coming backward, he can catch it. He can turn around and go. But when his knee hits the ground, that's the end of the play.
Okay. Well, we're going to look at this next play here later on in the first half. Defiance had a deep pass, and I think they wanted pass interference, but again, no pass interference was called. Just wanted to wonder if you thought that was a good call.
And there was no defensive. There was
nothing was called.
Yeah, there doesn't look like there's anything to me. It doesn't look like he grabbed it. It looks like he's trying to, but it doesn't look like he gets him. See, I think he misses him there, doesn't he? Yeah, he doesn't even. So I think he's perfectly fine. He wasn't in his face where he couldn't see the ball. The offensive player had a chance to make a play on the ball, and there was nothing that the defender did to cause him not to get to the ball. So I think he's fine.
And we talked about it before, but in high school it does not have to be catchable, right? It can still be pass interference.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Regardless of whether it's catchable.
There's no non-catchable in high school.
Because that was a little underthrown, but I told somebody else it doesn't matter if it's underthrown or not. It can still be pass interference.
Correct.
So, okay.
Yes.
Another false start here from St. Mary's, unfortunately. This one was interesting. It was almost like he really didn't even get set. He just kind of fell into it there.
Like he fell forward, didn't he?
Like he slipped or something.
Yep.
Almost timed it right with the snap, too. But
yeah, if he could have waited just a second longer.
So here's an interesting question for you. This was the long field goal at the end of the first half attempt from St. Mary's. We'll watch the field goal here, although that wasn't. My question is more about the position. So we can see the ball was snapped on the 36-yard line, kicked from the 42-43. If we can go to the next clip. The field goal was no good. So Defiance then got the ball on their 20-yard line, like a touchback.
Yeah.
What is that? Just a high school rule? If a field goal is missed,
yes,
it goes to the 20-yard line?
Yeah, in high school football, if the ball crosses the goal line, if the ball is short, lands and stops at the 3-yard line, and nobody gets it and the referee blows it dead, that's where they're going to – it's like a punt. It's just like a punt. So if it crosses the goal line, it's now a touchback, and they get it at the 20.
Okay. So in college and pro, if you miss it, you get it back at the line of scrimmage.
Yes, you get it back to where they snap the ball, but not in high school. It's just exactly like a punt.
That changes the equation for me for a lot of long kicks then. You might as well go for it as long as you think your kicker can get it pretty far down there in the end zone. I guess it can be returned, though, too.
Oh, yes, it can be returned. Yep. It's a live ball.
Interesting. This next call was an encroachment call against Defiance there. If you look at the very bottom of your screen, the wide receiver, number 11, they said that he was on the line there. Is that called encroachment when it's the offense?
Yeah,
okay.
Encroachment is illegally in the neutral zone by either team.
Okay.
So usually this official at this end is going to be saying, hey, buddy, back up, number 22, back up. And he apparently didn't hear him, and there he was, and it's all over the film, so he's got to call it, And
yeah.
That's an encroachment.
If we can watch that last one more time. I had a question about the hand motion from the line judge at the top of the screen.
Okay.
So after the penalty is called, he seems to roll his hands. Is that just making the wrong call there for a second?
I think he was thinking that he was going to call false start, and then realized no, this was an encroachment. He was in the neutral zone before the ball was even snapped.
I was just wondering if that was a mistake or if that was just something I didn't realize with that.
No, I think he just messed up just a hair.
No problem. They got the call right at the end.
Yeah, the call was right. Yep.
Well, this was, I think, the next play. It looks like Defiance was running about the exact same play, and unfortunately, St. Mary's got called for pass interference here. It's a little difficult to see. We didn't have a good view from the end zone either, but it did look like you can just see before it gets off camera that the St. Mary's guy did get into, at the bottom of your screen, number 11's chest there a little bit before the ball got there.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Like he pushed him off his route as the ball was in the air, and that would be defensive pass interference.
Pretty easy to call, I guess, when it's that obvious.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now receivers can jam them defensive backs can jam receivers at the line. Is that right?
Yeah, they can hit him right off the line, but then they got to let him go.
This next play, we got 2 calls, 2 for 1 here, two issues I want to talk about. The first one is the motion of that running back.
Uh-huh.
So I had we had a question sent in from a St. Mary's fan that was wondering if that motion was legal. You can see kind of at the beginning, the running back circles all the way around there.
Yeah, he's allowed to do that. And, the thing he can't do is he can't go forward and at the snap of the ball.
So as long as he's not going forward at the snap, he can do twirlies around everybody, figure eights, all he wants back there.
He can't simulate the snap, and he can't be going forward at the snap.
Gotcha. Second issue in this particular play, there was a pass interference call against St. Mary's. And then, an interception. I think we have a end zone view that will give us a little bit better angle. Not able to see it there on that side view. So I think it was either 48 or 0 here. And I think it might have been on 11, actually. It was in the motion. Nope, it was on that one right there.
Okay.
So we can see right there on the left side of the screen. And I know I wanted to show this in particular because I don't think you could see this on Rider Nation Station's broadcast as well. I was watching and I thought, I don't see any pass interference anywhere. But then I watched this and I thought, oh, yeah, definitely wrapped his arm there.
And he's got the ball in the air, too, while that contact is happening. If the ball wasn't in the air, he would have called a defensive holding.
Gotcha.
But the ball's in the air when that contact is happening. That's going to be pass interference.
I thought it was pretty good eyes from the official to be able to see that at that time.
That back judge, that's his job. And he's got those the inside receiver, while the wings, they have the outside receivers. He had that inside guy, and that's where he came from. So he was looking exactly where he was supposed to be.
Well, a big call bringing back the interception from St. Mary's, but I'm glad that we confirmed that it was the right call. This was interesting. Defiance scored. St. Mary's could have blocked this kick easily, it looks like. They called, I think, offsides on the St. Mary's, I think on Luke Bourne's there at the bottom of the screen, number 12, who came across, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Maybe came a little early, I guess, there.
Yeah, it looks like he's in motion before anybody else is. So.
But the snaps right there, it's really hard from this angle, though, to tell exactly how, whether he is in the neutral zone or on the line. But one of these days we'll have, 6 cameras on the field and sidelines. But this was a play later in the second half. St. Mary's was called for holding. And, man, this really frustrated me as a center who used to shoot out. Sometimes, people would stand up, and my shoulder or my arms might be on their ankle, and I'd get what I felt was a little ticky-tacky type of holding call. So we're going to look right here. It's on the very left of the screen. If you look towards the ground, I'm not sure if it's the center or the guard. I think it's the center. So, or maybe it was the guard here. So let's keep watching. So right there, there's a St. Mary's player laying on the ground, and there's a Defiance player standing up. And
That's
it looks.
They called it on?
It looks like just that little ankle right there. And unless it was something more that we're not able to see on the camera.
Right. I find it hard that that's the player they called it on, being that the ball was already by that. The point of attack was beyond that now, and boy, that was so quick, you know.
That's what bothered me too, is the ball was past that. It didn't seem to have anything to do with the current play, but we weren't able to see much in that other angles or anything like that. But,
right, that was a tough one to see.
Well, this next play was the punt from St. Mary's. Beautiful, booming punt. Ball was, you can see here, downed, and they downed it at the 1 yard line. So I just wanted to confirm, in high school football, he clearly hit the ball and rolled into the end zone. Does it matter that he rolled into the end zone in high school football?
No. In high school football, when you have possession of the ball, he has to have possession of the ball. The ball can't be loose, and he's on the ground. So that back judge there has ruled that he had possession and he was on the ground. And then his rolling into the end zone had nothing else to do with the play. He had possession, and his knee or any part of his body was touching the ground. Right there, he apparently has possession of the ball. He's ruled that he has possession of the ball. Play's over.
Well, that's a great job from the St. Mary's punt coverage there then to get that down.
That was great.
This next play involved Defiance quarterback here. St. Mary's thought it was a fumble or a lateral and tried to return it, but it was ruled an incomplete pass. Just wanted your thoughts.
Well, the best thing for the St. Mary's defense to do is pick that up and go until the whistle stops the play, whether it's back or not. But that's from right here, that's forward. And see, that's different than last week in the St. Mary's Salina game, is this play happened right on a big line. This play happened right on a big line where he was behind the line, the ball landed on the other side of the line, and in the St. Mary's game, it was the 43 and 44 yard line, so you didn't have that. But that play there is here you can see it pretty easy that he was behind the big line and the ball landed beyond the big line.
Clearly the right call.
Clearly the right call, yeah.
Well, this next play, if you look at the top of your screen, the 55, the tackle from Defiance, he's blocking Owen Ott, and I thought it was just a clearly missed holding call. Owen Ott's been having a great year, and certainly it looks like he got held on this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there, that he had his arms wrapped completely around him, did he? Had not just one. I think he had the other arm wrapped around him too.
Unfortunately, I think it happened a few times during the game, but this was the most obvious, easy to see on film, I thought. And St. Mary's probably should have had him tackled in the backfield anyway, but
yeah, that was holding. That should have been called there.
Looking at the next play, another false start from St. Mary's. Although I struggle to see it. I've watched this 20, 30 times last night, and I struggle to see the false start.
Oh, I don't see it either.
I'm wondering if the only thing I see is the left tackle kind of nods his head up.
Wow.
But they called false start, and just not sure where that came from.
Me neither. I can't see it either. He's allowed to look up. I mean, that's not simulating the snap of the play.
There is I just noticed a little bit, if we can watch one more time, number 8 at the bottom, there's a little bit of a flinch too, but.
Oh, maybe that's what he's.
Maybe that's where it was.
It wasn't that tackle. It was that wide out
you think, okay.
Is who I think that he called it on. I'm not sure, but you just watch him yeah.
Okay.
I think that's who they got.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit of a stomp there, a little stutter step. Okay. Well, that make more sense than.
Than that.
I guess I had to see it in the new light of the day today. All right. This was a block in the back call against Defiance later in the game. I think at your top of your screen right there, a little bit 22. They called it on him. If we can.
Yeah, he even kind of knew it because he threw his hands up. Did you see that?
Yep.
That's always I didn't do it. Well, yeah, you did, and you know you did.
So 22 is the tight wide receiver there at the top of your screen.
Yeah.
I think gets engaged and then just sort of.
Yeah, he pushes him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if I would have been happy if I was on the Defiance side on that call, but.
Yeah, it's remember, a block in the back has to be between the shoulders, below the head, above the waist.
Gotcha.
So was that a block in the back? I see who they called it on, and especially with his, I didn't do anything. I can see why the flag come out, but.
And we have the advantage of being able to watch it in slow motion and watch it afterwards. But in the heat of the game, it looks like it more when your hands are extended and the guy goes that way.
Yep, you're right.
This was the last clip then for us. This was a defensive stand here after Defiance had intercepted St. Mary's, and I think it was a safety here. The running back gets the ball right there. And I think even on this film, watching it from here, I can't believe that ball got out of the end zone.
Oh, that's a good point, because when you're in the end zone, the ball has to come completely. The entire length of the football has to be completely out of the end zone on this side of the white line. As you're going in, all you need is that first piece of leather of the football to cross that front part of that white line, and it's a touchdown. But coming this way, the entire football has to make it out, the entire ball.
Now, maybe he got that ball stretched out there behind some guys that we're not seeing, and obviously the officials are on the field and they can see down the line, but, man, it looked very close to me on film.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that is pretty tight, isn't it?
That really, gives St. Mary's 2 points there and the ball back on the 40 or 50-yard line, and that's a very interesting last minute of the game. So, well, in any respect, St. Mary's gets a chance to avenge their loss this week and come back harder against Wapak. We're going to be at the Grand Lake Health Systems field this week at home. So Rider Nation Station will have the broadcast, but I encourage you, if you're in St. Mary's, to come out and cheer on the Rough Riders. And we'll have some clips then next week from the game, and hopefully it's clips of a victory from St. Mary's and Wapak. Thanks again for coming, Bill.
Thanks, Zach. Glad to be here.
We'll see everybody next week.
Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.